Okay, welcome to GTI and Setco again. We're going to be doing a little bit different of a video here today. We're going to pull out of the spindle lab that's behind Paul here, and we're going to show how ViPro 10 can not only do spindles, but we can also do EV and ICE car diagnostics for vibrations and things that plague all of our automobiles as well. Behind me I have an EV6, and believe it or not, the EV6 has two high-speed 10,000 to 20,000 RPM, basically spindle motors in both front and back. And I'll get into that in a little bit of exactly, how we can baseline the bearings on those, detect whether bearings are going bad, and all that other stuff. But when I bought this automobile, because of the way they tie down the front of these foreign cars that come on ships, they sometimes either bend or damage the rims and or tires. And I brought it back and forth to the dealer, and they couldn't tell me what was wrong, and it was just a big chase as to what was wrong with it. So I took out ViPro 10, and I'll show you what I did. Came here to the front of the car, it's very easy, and I'll show you how we can mount this underneath the hood of the car as well. But we have both of our front struts. I knew the vibration was coming from the front end of the car. I just needed to know what. So on our ViPro sensor, if you remember from other videos, we have our standard axis, and this red dot, we also have our side-to-side axis. So I mounted it on this, this is our strut tower. I actually mounted it down here with my red dot moving this way, and I can also get the imbalance of the tire moving somewhat directional to the support of the tire. And I measured both sides first. Paul and I are gonna take a run in the car, and we're actually gonna show you what the spectrum looks like, but sort of a before and after. But what I was able to detect once I knew which side was worse, which was easy, just took a drive, ran the wireless sensor to the inside of the cab, and I could actually see, which side was worse. Because I had the sensor side to side, I was able to detect a bend. They actually had bent one rim, and I got the side-to-side motion, so they knew that they actually had to replace the rim rather than tire. The other thing that we're gonna show, I'm gonna tie into this video, is I had a much nicer car than this, a 1970 Buick GS 455, where I also used ViPro 10, what I thought was a tire imbalance that I could not get rid of, a little bit of a vibration or shimmy in the car. And you'll see in that video what we really found. It was another component in the car that was actually vibrating at a different speed, which you'll be interested to see that in the rest of the video. So next clip of this, we'll be inside the car, and we'll be able to show you the spectrum and show you what we see. Okay, here we are at 70 miles an hour exactly. And you can see we've got a nice clear peak showing us our imbalance. Now I do not have a bent wheel like I showed before. I only have an imbalance because we put some weights on it. See, I went a little fast there, Ray. Let me back off just a little bit and should match up the peak. And there you are, that's an imbalanced wheel. This is my personal garage where we've got a 1970 GS 455, trying to get rid of a shimmy vibration I have at 45 and about 70 miles an hour. So we get the GTI iPad set up on the balancer, and I thought it was in balance of the rear tire, so I put the sensor on the axle, I put the tachometer on the tire, and lo and behold, the vibration was at 1200 RPM at 40 miles an hour, which was way too high frequency for it to be a tire. The tire RPM, which was at 450, 500 RPM, didn't even hardly have a peak in the spectrum. So what we did is we've now got the tachometer set up on the drive shaft, and we spun it up, and sure enough, the peak of vibration, the largest peak in the spectrum on this car while jacked up and running, is exactly at that 1300 CPM or RPM, and it tacked out. So we're going to attempt to balance the drive shaft with our balancing app. Found the vibration with the vibration app. Now we're going to use the balancing app and see if we can balance the drive shaft. Stay tuned. Well, as a conclusion to that video, we were able to balanced that drive shaft absolutely perfectly, and took a 54-year-old vehicle and made it drive as smooth as one of the more modern vehicles on the market today. So when you're thinking of diagnosing either an older car or newer car, think of Vibe Pro. You can diagnose all different types of rotating and bearing issues. And please reach out to us at www.gtispindle.com or www.setco.com for any more information. Please subscribe and smash that like button. We appreciate it. Thank you.